The following game is being played with History Maker Baseball Express, a product of Play Games LLC, copyright 2022, all rights reserved. If you would like to order a copy of History Maker Baseball Express, or if you would like to check out the other products offered from Play Games, please click on the link provided in the description box below. Welcome back, everyone, to another game in this series between the 1927 Yankees and the 1975 New York Mets. We are at Shea Stadium for Game 3 of this series, as the series is currently tied at one game apiece, and the winner of this game will push the other team to the brink or the cusp of elimination as we head into Game 4. And yes, there will be a Game 4 to be played later on today. Your pitching matchup for Game 3 here at Shea Stadium will be Joe Matlack going for the 1975 New York Mets, and Herb Pennock going to be pitching for the 1927 New York Yankees. Lineups have been exchanged at home plate, and we are ready to go as Mark Koenig will lead it off here in the top half of the first here at Shea Stadium here in, I would say, in Queens, New York. 355. So let's see without the glare. There we are. 355. Is Matlick a star pitcher? He is a semi-star. The decider die says he is not, however. Is Mark Koenig a champion batter? No, he is not. So that's going to end up being a no-runs result of 5 blank, and that's going to end the top half of the first inning. So the Yankees go quietly in their first turn at the plate, and the 1975 Mets are now coming to bat in the bottom half of the first, and a newcomer to this series, Bud Harrelson, will lead it off for the 1975 Mets. We got a 2-2-3. Is Herb Pennock an ace pitcher? No, he is not. Is Buddy Harrelson a utility batter? He is a utility, and that's going to be a no-runs result of 2 dot, and that will end the top half, or excuse me, that'll end the first inning overall. And we head to the second inning here at Shea Stadium with no score. Here's Babe Ruth, the Bambino. 145. Is Matlick a ace pitcher? He is not. Ace or dynamic pitcher? Matlick is not. Is Babe Ruth a sad sack batter? No, he is not. That will be a -1 from the black die. Men on base, -1 for black die, a flash result. Matlick does have flash, and that is going to be a -1 for black die of flash. And let's see, Matlick has semi-flash. The decider die was not used, so Matlick does have flash, and that's going to put the runners either on first and second or putting the runner on third. And it's early. We're going to play it safe, and by putting the runners on first and second. And we're going to re-roll the decider die. Dot is back-to-back singles. Blank is back-to-back hits, or excuse me, walks. Back-to-back walks, I should say, off of my optional men on base narrative chart. And it'll be back-to-back base hits. In this case, back-to-back singles for the Bambino, Babe Ruth. And we now go to the men on base chart for Lou Gehrig. Reading the black and blue dice is such of a 25. Iron fielder commits the error. Unser is not an iron fielder, so that will be a ground out. And that's going to end the top half of the second inning here at Shea Stadium. And we will flip both cards here. Go to the bottom half of the second with the score deadlocked at nothing. One 3. Yep, 1-1-3. Is Pennock a struggler pitcher? No, he is not. Is Milan a utility batter? No, he is not. That's going to be an RBI question mark result. The decider die says yes, he does get the RBI, and the 1975 Mets take a 1-0 lead here in the bottom half of the second inning, and we're going to find out from the decider die. Since he got the RBI, we'll roll the decider die again off of my RBI question mark and our micro RBI narrative chart to see what the RBI was for Felix Milan. It'll be an error coming from the outfield, and it looks like the center fielder will be getting the error for this turn, and it'll be an E8 and an RBI, and the 1975 Mets take a 1-0 lead heading into the third inning here at Shea Stadium. Here's Bob Musel. 236 is John Matlick a struggler or gilded pitcher? No, he is not. Is Bob Musel a sad sack batter? No, he is not. That's going to end up being an RBI question mark result. However, the decider die says no RBI, and it will immediately go to a no runs result of 3 blank to end the top half of the third with the score of 1975 Mets 1 and the 1927 Yankees nothing. Here's Ed Kranepool to lead off the bottom half of the third inning. Three, 4, 5. Is Herb Pennock a star pitcher? Yes, he is a star pitcher, and that's going to end the third inning with a no runs result of 5. And we will head to the fourth inning here at Shea Stadium with the score of 1975 Mets 1 and the 1927 Yankees nothing. Here's Tony Lazzeri to lead it off for the New York Yankees. 1, 2, 3. Is Matlick a workman or struggler pitcher? No, he is not. Is Lazzeri a champion batter? He is a semi-champion. The decider die says no, he's not. So, excuse me, it's going to be a no runs result of 1 to end the top half of the fourth for the 1927 Yankees. And we go to the bottom half of the fourth with the score remaining the same, 1-0, in favor of the 1975 New York Mets. Here's Rusty Staub with a 1.36. Is Pennock an ace pitcher? No, he is not. Is Staub a hero batter? He is a semi-hero. The decider die, however, says no hero batter. So it's going to be a no runs result with a chance for a solo home run. However, the black die is not a 6, even though Staub has the semi-slugger quality. The black die needs to be a 6 in order for the slugger quality to be active here. So it's going to end up being a no runs result of 6 dot to end the 4th inning here in a tight duel between both these starting pitchers here in game 3 of this best of 5 game set. We head to the 5th. The score remains 1-0 in favor of the 1975 New York Mets. Joe Duggan will step up to the plate now with a 1.66. Is Matlick an ace pitcher? No. Is Joe Duggan a sad sack batter? Nuh-uh. It's going to be a men on base result, men on base result with a base running adjustment off of the black die, and it looks like he will get it because Joe Duggan is a semi-stoic. The decider die says he is stoic, but let me just double check that is correct. 1.66, ace no, sad sack no. So yes, the decider die was not used, so that black die 6 will be reduced to a black die 5, and we're going to put the runners on second and third with a 5 and a 6, and we're going to have to re-roll the decider die to get the outcome for Joe Duggan's 2 plate appearances, either for the men on base result. We're going to go to the multiple runners on base chart due to it being a blank, and a 1 on runners on second and third will be back-to-back walks in his first 2 plate appearances, and a double and an RBI to tie the game up at 1 apiece. Here we go with Pat Collins off of the men on base chart. 3-5. Reading the black and blue dice as such of a 56. Patient draws the walk. Pat Collins is a semi-patient batter. The decider die says he is patient. That's going to load up the bases, and that will quickly prompt a mound visit by the pitching coach as they want to talk things over before diving in to the meat, the top of the order for the 1927 Yankees. And while they are checking up on that mound visit, let's see if the bullpen is active for the 1975 Mets. They are. And they are not. So they're putting faith in John Matlick to get out of this inning with the score tied without blowing up here in the top half of the 5th. 45, fresh pitcher gets the ground out. And again, the way that I work freshness is 3 full fresh innings and 3 semi-fresh innings. So since we're in the semi-fresh innings, John Matlick is semi-fresh. The decider die says he is fresh. So that is going to be a ground out to prevent further damage from happening by the 1927 Yankees, and that is probably going to be all she wrote for John Matlick, as the 1975 Mets are probably going to go to the pen when we get to the 6th inning, as the manager already shook the hand of John Matlick. He says, hey, we'll take care of it if we give you the lead before the bullpen comes in. Either way, he will be done, as the Mets are planning to go to the pen one way or the other. We head to the bottom half of the fifth, and Dave Kingman will lead it off against Herb Pennock. We got a 2.45. Is Pennock a struggler pitcher? No, he is not. Is Kingman a sad sack batter? No, he is not. So that's going to be a -1 for Black Die, a flash of control mob result, and Herb Pennock does have control. They're immediately going to put the runner on third to try to see if they can get some runs out of this in order to give Joe Matlick a chance at the win in this game. And it looks like we have a 3 and a 5 on my optional men on base narrative chart. It's going to be a official scores decision result, and the decider die was not used. 2.45 struggler no, sad sack no. So no, it wasn't used, and it is going to be a triple for Dave Kingman to lead off the bottom half of the fifth inning. Here's Wayne Garrett, a newcomer to this series. Reading the black and blue dice as such of a 45. Fresh pitcher gets the ground out, and again, we're in the semi-fresh innings, so Herb Pennock does have fresh, and that's going to end the fifth inning, and hopefully the 1975 Mets can do something here really quick as the score remains tied at 1 apiece as we head to the top half of the sixth. And again, I did mention that the Mets are going to go to the pen here, but let's double check if Matlick wants to stay in this game. And he will, even though I said the bullpen will be ready. So we're going to give Matlick one more inning just to put the, even though I said that the manager shook his hand and say, hey, we can still get a chance here to squeeze one more inning out of you. So let's see what happens with that as Matlick faces Mark Koenig here in the top half of the sixth inning. 1-2-4. Is Matlick an ace pitcher? No. Is Mark Koenig a champion batter? No. So that's going to be a no runs result of 2 and officially will end the outing for John Matlick, as he will go 6 innings, hopefully, and they have in the 1975 Mets now have a plan to conquer Babe Ruth coming up in the top half of the seventh. Next inning is when they go to the pen, and we'll see who's coming out of the pen after the 1975 Mets take their turn up at the dish. One 1-3-4. Is Pennock an ace pitcher? No. Is John Stearns a champion batter? No. So that's going to end up being a no runs result of 1 blank. And that will do it for the 6th inning here at Shea Stadium, with the score deadlocked at 1 apiece between the 1927 Yankees and the 1975 New York Mets. The Mets are planning to take John Matlick out of this game, and while they do so, we will take a timeout. We're on our way to the top half of the 7th, and Rick Baldwin will be the new 1975 Mets pitcher coming out of the pen, as he will be the bullpen hero for the 1975 Mets, and he will be remaining fresh for the rest of this game. And let's see if this plan pays off against Babe Ruth. That is such a tough challenge here. 3-4-3-5, excuse me, 4-5-6. Pitcher is fresh, so we're gonna skip that question. So is Babe Ruth a champion batter? He's a semi-champion. The decider die says no, and unfortunately for the Mets, even though they got the champion not to show up, however, Babe Ruth will hit one high and hit one far, and it is off the scoreboard for an oppo shot here at Shea Stadium, as the 1927 Yankees take a 2-1 lead, and immediately Matlick is in line for the loss should the score remain the same as we head to the stretch here at Yankee Stadium, or excuse me, at Shea Stadium, with the score 1927 Yankees 2 and the 1975 Mets 1. Here we go on to the bottom half of the seventh. And Bud Harrelson will lead it off with a 1-4-6. Is Pennock an ace or dynamic pitcher? No. Is Buddy Harrelson a sad sack batter? No, he is not. So that's going to end up being a men on base result, -1 from Black Die of control. Herb Pennock does have control, and that's going to put the runners on second and third. This is the 1975 Mets' chance to relieve the pressure off of John Matlick to get in line for the loss, where if they score and take the lead, he will get a no decision. And Rick Baldwin will be the new pitcher of record. So in this case here, it'll be a 4 and a 5 off of my optional men on base narrative chart. And it reads for second and third, decider die was probably used. Let me double check. 1-4-6. Ace, no. Sensac, no. So yes, the decider die was not used, and Bud Harrelson will pick up 2 hits for the game, and we're going to find out what those hits are, with 1 and a 6 equaling a home run, 2 and a 5 equaling a single, 3 is a triple, and 4 is a double, and he gets to collect 2 hits. It's a home run, so they tie the game up, and whenever a 1 or a 6 is rolled, just like it was, it is considered a solo home run. It is considered a solo home run and an RBI. And let's see if Buddy Harrelson can get another home run here. And he will. Wow. So that is going to put the Mets into the lead by a score of 3-2, as we now head to the men on base chart, reading the black and blue dice as such for Del Unser of a 24. Goldfielder makes the out. Lou Gehrig is gold, so that is going to be a ground out to end the bottom half of the 7th inning, but not before damage was done by Buddy Harrelson. In 2 appearances, he hits 2 bombs out of Shea Stadium to put the 1975 Mets into the lead as we head to the bottom half, to the top half of the 8th, by a score of 3-2. Here's Bob Musel to lead it off here in the top half of the eighth. 225. You guys can see. 225. Is Baldwin an ace pitcher? No, he is not. Is Bob Musel a hero batter? Nope. It's going to be a no runs result, a 2 blank. And Rick Baldwin is shutting things down here for the 1975 Mets on the pitching side. And it looks like the 1927 Yankees are going to make a move to the pen before we begin the bottom half of the eighth, and we will take a timeout. Miles Thomas will be the new pitcher out of the pen for the 1927 Yankees, as he will be facing off against Felix Milan to lead it off here in the bottom half of the eighth. 146. Is Pennock an ace or dynamic pitcher? No, he is not. Is Milan a sad sack batter? No, he is not. So that's going to be a men on base result. -1 for black die of control. Miles Thomas does not have control. Oh my goodness. Oh man. That's going to be a bases loaded situation. And Milan is going to pick up 3 hits. Yes, 3 hits because of the decider die being a dot. And let's see what those 3 hits are off of the red die. A 3 is going to be a triple. Another triple with another 3. And a home run, which is considered a solo home run. And the lead is now 4-2 in favor of the 1975 Mets. And here we go to the men on base chart with bases loaded for Ed Kranepool of a 44. Wild pitcher allows the walk. Miles Thomas is not wild, so that is going to be a flyout to strand the bases loaded. And this is going to be a really fun 9th inning here is coming up as the 1975 Mets look to become only the 3rd team in this project to have a chance to win the series in the next game. And standing in the way of doing so is Tony Lazzeri as he leads off the top half of the 9th inning here at Shea Stadium, as everyone rises to their feet, even in the cheap seats, eats it in the bleachers out in the outfield. Oh, baby, this is going to be fun. Here's Tony Lazzeri to lead off the top half of the 9th. 3-3-5. Is Baldwin a struggler pitcher? No, he is not. Is Tony Lazzeri a champion batter? No, he is not. That is going to be a no runs result of 5 blank. And the 1975 Mets will take game 3 by a final score of 4-2. And they will put the 1927 Yankees on the cusp of potentially losing yet another series, as they look to tie as the 1975 Mets look to tie up the Gauntlet Challenge at 3 series apiece. And it could happen, but we will see if the 1927 Yankees can force game 5 in the next game. So again, heading into the next game, the situation is this. If the 1975 Mets win game 4, this series will be over as they lead the series 2-1. If the 1927 Yankees are victorious next game, they will force a winner-take-all game 5 for only the 3rd time in this video series and in this project. So once again, that's your conditions for next game. Um, Stay tuned for that coming up later on today. And if you are new to the channel, again, I welcome you. And if you like what you see here, please consider subscribing to the channel for future content. And once again, your final score from Shea Stadium here for Game 3, the 1975 Mets take a 2-1 series lead by a final score of 4-2.